Hello and welcome to Media Philosophy, where we're exploring the deeper side of voice acting with the very talented entrepreneur, actor, and musician, Jonathan Joss. Mr.
Yeah,
Joss,
man.
welcome very much. Thank you very much for coming. Welcome.
The philosophy.
The Media Philosophy. And again, thank you for coming on.
I mean, I didn't remember from Cape Fear. I can out philosophize you.
Well, so you do a lot of stuff outside of acting. You're like I said, you're a musician. You got your entrepreneur. Talk a little bit about that.
Number one thing, I'm an actor. Did it in junior high, high school, college. Trying to do it as an adult. Uh, well, when you're an actor, you got to find other stuff to do. King of the Hill was one of my biggest breaks. So I philosophized it into a Redcorn King of the Grill. The cartoon was able to bring people around a table, and what's better than bringing people around a table than cooking? My parents had a restaurant here in San Antonio for almost 45 years. So I like to cook, I like to eat, and I like the flavors of San Antonio. So right after King of the Hill was gone, I was kind of concerned about what I was going to do. So I came up with the Redcorn King of the Grill spices, grill spice, the original rub, the massage meat rub, and cod sprinkles. And then after Magnificent Seven, Redcorn King of the Grill, 7 Magnificent Spices.
It is all about branding.
Try to make it happen.
And then do you find like those other pursuits that kind of like help your acting at all, like music or anything? Do you kind of ever bring like what you've learned from like the stage or cooking into like your work?
Yeah. I think if you get an actor, he's a great salesperson. He has to be personable. Foods like that. You add a bunch of ingredients together, but you kind of have to put together what's it going to taste like. You know what pepper tastes like, you know what salt tastes like, you know what chili powder tastes like, you know what Camino tastes like, you know what garlic tastes like. So it's up to you to blend all those together. And in acting, acting is really not acting. Acting is reacting. That's one of the major concepts of acting. Because we as human beings just don't start acting. We react either to the environment, to another person, to ourselves. So most definitely, acting, you bring your whole life into it, good or bad.
Now, was there a moment that just hit you like, I want to be an actor? Like, was there like an aha moment where it just hit you like, this is what I'm going to do?
Nope. Fifth grade. Fifth grade, man, I saw a play in the fifth grade, and I was a fairly large child. If you read the Redcorn King of the Grill Spices, it says I was a husky child. And it wasn't until my time in Hollywood that I could embrace my inner husky child. Fifth grade, I saw a play and completely was taken away by these people playing pigs. For me, I don't like being myself. I like an opportunity to be someone else. So when I saw that transformation, not just through wardrobe, but through just the whole concept of being, another philosophy of acting. Acting is not acting. Acting is reacting, and acting is being in the moment. So I liked how that just kind of switched over. They did a little question and answer afterwards. Since I was such a fat kid, I associated with pigs. So I had a question answered, and I realized that these people and their characters were completely different, although in the core they were the same. And for a little kid to like pick that up, that was the fifth grade, man. And then when I went into sixth grade, not only was I overweight, but I was also talkative. So my drama teacher, Miss Gams, who's passed away since, had a meeting with my mom about not paying attention in class. And I thought I was going to get in trouble. And she said, no, let him join the drama department. So I joined the drama department there. And we would go out and see plays, do talent shows, and all through middle school, high school. And like I said, from the fifth grade up until now, I still want to be an actor.
It's funny how you never really know like what one like interaction will like take you. You know, that teacher could have very well have like punished you for not paying attention, but instead like, they kind of saw something and pushed you in like a positive direction. So you just never know what those non-parental, adult figures in your life are going to do for you, as a kid.
Mother wanted to hit me. But yeah, I mean, Miss Gams was amazing. I reunited with her a couple of years before she died. Um, I used to see this lady selling newspapers on the side of the road. And when I first saw her, I thought it was a scam. And I said, there's no way she can't. She can't. I didn't have the heart to do it. And sure enough, she was in a wheelchair selling newspapers. Uh, and about that time, I landed Magnificent Seven. So she died about a year after that. I mean, I don't think she even got to see the movie. But in that short time, I was able to call her from set from Mag 7 and have her talk to the entire cast. And for her, that was really special. She always thought that I would achieve something in life. But parents we're the type of people that you can do anything you want to do. You just have to put your mind to it. It gets tiresome. I don't have any kids. I just got married, but you give up a lot. Last podcast, one of the questions was, what did you have to give up to be an actor? Life. I've been married a year. I already having financial difficulties because I don't have a full-time job. So I gave up a lot. I mean, the idea of having children, I didn't have pets until the bitch of an ex-girlfriend left me with 7 dogs. So I didn't have the heart to get rid of them. So I have them. So responsibility. Actors, we're not very good with responsibility. Our job is to stay somewhat fit, remember your lines, and preferably sober sometimes.
Now, growing up, did you ever see people like you on screen a lot? Like on television or movies or anything like that?
Oh, not at all. I mean, dating myself, I would say the Lone Ranger. And that was, really, really early, but I get the reruns. I can't think of anybody. I can't. Yes, yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is the first motion picture, the first solenoid film clip is of a Native American dancing. And I don't know if you probably don't remember this, but these have a test screen at the end of television. It had numbers, and right in the middle of it is a Native person. So the first image of film was a Native person, and then every television network would start with it and end with it. So it's nothing that's intentional, but when you discuss American history, and you look at a genocide, it stands to reason that we wouldn't be out front with who we are. People have a very stereotypical. I mean, my job is based on being stereotypical, but there is a human aspect of it. Writers have gotten a little bit better. It took me 20 years before. I mean, it took about 15 years before I got to wear a pair of pants. But it's just Hollywood is not out there intentionally to hurt anyone, but we're still a very young race. So making mistakes is one of our best aspects.
I think that's a good point. Like when they have like white voice actors voice people like Cleveland Brown from the Family Guy, or Hank Aziz as Carl from The Simpsons, or even Toby Huss as Khan Supernussophone. And I don't think it's was hurtful. Like you said, I mean, at the end of the day, the intention is just to bring entertainment and to make people laugh.
I agree. I agree, it wasn't intentional, but had they thought about it, perhaps. But everything that took 20 years takes 5 years now. Changes happen immediately. So, I mean, you look at Reservation Dogs, this long to get a native themed, program, and it's still not on one of the big networks.
It seems like you really gravitate towards those comedic roles, just whether it's Parks and Rec, King of the Hill, even some of your classic ones like Almost Heroes and things like that. What drew you to like comedy?
Anybody can make anybody cry, get sad, but comedy. I enjoyed making my mom laugh and my dad laugh. My parents, as I was saying, had a restaurant. People would leave hats, jackets, pants, underwear. And at the end of the night, I would put on different characters and entertain. I don't laugh a lot, but because, we as human beings, laughter is what keeps us alive. Native people love to laugh. That's a stereotypical quality that you don't see in a person. We're always serious. Stoic, the word they use. But laughing, for me, always broke the tension. So I had that deadpan type of look on Chris Farley's film. At the audition, I slapped Christopher Guest. I walked into the room and he started talking to me about slapstick comedy. And I was standing up and he stood up and was walking around the desk. And when he got to me, he gave me the line where my character slaps Chris Farley. And when he did that, I just reached out and slapped him. And he went, okay. Now, acting is not doing, acting is acting. And by the time he turned around, I still had the deadpan look, just, thank you, boom. And timing, good writing. When you're known, when your best stereotypical quality is being stoic, that fine line of comedy is good. Ken Hotate, would you maybe get you some water? You mean like water? That's racist. I'll take a whiskey. It's that little beat. I like being, people don't really consider me funny. Usually I'm threatening, I'm mean, I'm vulgar. But all those qualities are some of the best comedians, So I just like it. It's easy for me to go into the laughter aspect of things. And behind every clown, there's a sad person. So Chris Farley was like that. He just was such a brilliant man, but you could tell deep down inside he was just going through his issues.
What you said about the whole, just the timing, and you said, it comes a lot from like the writers, but I disagree. You can give like somebody who doesn't understand timing, the funniest script in the world, and like you said, if they don't know where to put that pause in, it's just not going to work. So, I was watching some like Parks and Recs clips, and just that scene where you are like lifting the curse from the thing, and just the doobie, you know what I mean? Just like, it's nonsense, but it's the right kind of nonsense.
Writing as well. Good writing there, but I think, we were able to work it. Here's an example of, to regress, regard to native stereotypicality or how people of minorities are represented. In that scene, a prop assistant came up to me and he handed me a shell. And he goes, my boss, the prop master told me to tell you this is cookie dough mix. And he handed it to me. I went, oh, great, thank you. Normally, they would give you tobacco. They would give you something that's not, and it should not be used. So it was cookie dough mix. And I thought that was great, especially when I threw it. Is this the guy? Boom. Now, there was something that was interesting. The stunt man, stunts, that's considered a stunt. So he said, Jonathan, come here. Yes, sir. He goes, now, pinch, throw, pinch, throw. Now don't throw, it's throw. And he's going to be more of a reaction, you know. Come back, throw. That way he can close his eyes before you throw it. Is this the guy? If you notice it, is this the guy? Boom! I mean, I dusted that little motherfucker. I got it all over. And he's like, well, I did back it up to close his eyes, but it was one take. Mexican routine. Sorry, man.
Now was there any like, how was the transition between live action and voice acting?
Voice acting is more contained. I mean, you're like right now we're in front of the mic. So you have to really be aware. Usually, you know, Mike goes with you, but these guys, you know, but sound engineer, we had the same sound engineer on King of the Hill the entire run. So our mics are always set in the right place. It's more inside your head, you know, whereas film acting is contained as opposed to theatrical. You know, stage when you throw a look, you know, or you point. For film, it's all acknowledgement to those issues. Voiceover is limited acknowledgement to those issues.
Going back to the whole, you know, people being voiced by the same, like the characters being voiced by the same person that they're, you know, that they identify with. What do you think are some of the advantages, or what are the effect that there is when the character is voiced by the same, you know, identity as the voice actor?
I think number one, no, cartoons aren't real, of course, but we as human beings lend our knowledge, our existence, our DNA to a character. And if we're not of that DNA, you're not focusing on what acting is. Acting is being. In order to be, you gotta be very fucking close to it.
I just think there's like an authenticity when you would like voice John Redcorn and give some of those, you know, like little monologues. It just felt so much more real. Again, like to go back to like Toby Hess, you know, who isn't an Asian American immigrant. You know, he doesn't have that same.
Correct.
You know, and it's just like Khan never had that same like emotional pull that sometimes like John Redcorn, you know, you could bring out in John Redcorn.
I grew up in San Antonio. I didn't grow up on the Indian reservation. You know, San Antonio, everyone's, you know, majority Mexican, but Mexican is not a race of people. It's a country. We are indigenous. So we have a cadence about us. We have the way we present jokes. There's the way we tell stories. So being of that DNA, you then can, we're originally storytellers. That's how we pray. That's how we tell our history, our oral interpretation, storytelling. We have dances, tell story, hunt. The only difference is our stories are real. Whereas acting, sometimes we have issues with native actors for depending on what tribe, it's a Western thing to look at somebody when you're talking to them. Whereas native people, we acknowledge them by not looking them in their eyes, respecting who they are, listen, and then answer. So a lot of times you'll see native actors that drop their eyes. For an actor, that's not great because we should be there. So we just got to tell the story real.
And are you seeing like just more minorities just in general, like in the industry, whether in front of the camera, or I would even say like more importantly, behind the camera?
No, not at all. I mean, we haven't had a film with a starring native actor. We don't have a TV series. Other than Reservation Dogs. And those are all diamond. I mean, diamond in the rough. No, of course not. We could do more. Fuck a reboot of King of the Hill. Put John Redcorn in his own series. Let him be out. We can be a reference to Parks and Rec, but an animation version of it, where he's on the reservation, he runs a casino. Propane accessory. I do gambling. It would work. People, it's almost a guilt thing, people know about our history. They know the tragedies, just like they know their tragedies where they come from. So in King of the Hill, Native people have never gotten an apology from the American government, or from a white person, that is. So King of the Hill, Dale says, on behalf of my people, I'd like to apologize for what I did to you. And I would like to apologize for what I did to you. It was a big moment in cinema history, because that's never been done before. John Trudell brought that to my attention. I was ashamed to meet the man. Very important Native person. But he pulled my coat to that. He goes, man, good job. I said, I've waited my entire life for a white dude to go, hey, man, I'm really sorry. So I think we can sell. You've never seen a Native person in a alcohol commercial. Why? Because we're all drunk Indians. You don't see us in McDonald's commercials either. They're fat. Whereas in Tuba City, they sell the most quarter pounders or Big Macs or something. It's large city McDonald's. So definitely not. More writers. I'm working on a script now. More writers, more directors. I'm trying to hopefully close a deal by the end of the year to do my first directorial, starring, and writing. The gentleman has a relationship with Michael Madsen, so the script I'm working on now. Film's called Two Sides to Every Coin. It's great for Michael Madsen. He's a son of a bitch in it, and the script will make him win an Academy.
And is that something you've been wanting to do for a while? Like get more behind the camera, do things like directing, do things like writing? No, that's not something that.
I can't even keep busy as an actor. Why put more shit on my plate? But a gentleman called me up and said, hey, man, you can do this. And I thought about it. I got married last year, so spending a lot of time at home, able to think. So I directed my wife and I starred and directed a music video, and it went really nicely. We did a storyboard, and I thought about the directors I've worked with, the sets I've been on. I'm not an idiot per se. I'm very lazy, but I never thought about directing. I never thought of, but this gentleman came to me and helped me invest my own time in it. So hopefully, it'll happen. It's 1 in a million shot, but I've done it before.
Well, it seems like nowadays there's more of a chance than ever for, just different voices to come out now that, streaming services are out there. Before it was just like network television. You had 8 channels, so many time slots to fill, and that's it. But nowadays, we have all of these niche, shows trying to look for those specific audiences. Instead of going for that mass appeal or whatever. What do you think about that?
We live in a day and age where you can get famous for farting, and bam, you're a millionaire. 15 minutes are no longer 15 minutes; they're 15 fucking seconds. But we are in a great time, even with the issues that we have, this war on freedom. America always rebuilds itself during time of war, and we also like to entertain ourselves. So as an American government, as an American entity, the only thing we bring to theatrics, whereas England, Shakespeare, we bring melodrama. That's what the United States is known for, melodrama. the idea of Dose Machina, where the hand of God steps in and saves the day. They put the girl on the train tracks. That's all melodrama. We would take well-known European plays, take them out west, and tweak them a little bit, make them silly. We bring the melodrama. So that's why I always think that soap operas do really well in the United States, or they did, because of the melodramatic approach to it. So that's it.
Now, I wouldn't be are people in the industry a little like insulted almost about like where the entertainment direction is going? Like you said, like anybody who like farts in front of a mic has a chance of like getting 1 million views.
Right. I mean, I remember when not scripted stuff, reality shows started. Boy, Hollywood said this shit will never last. They have no writer. Man, I mean, you've got stuff that's been on for 20 fucking years. So Hollywood doesn't know what it wants, like at an audition. A young actor will say, how do you know what to do at an audition? We don't. It's your job until we walk in the door. You are the person that makes it a loss. Every job I've ever gotten, it was because right person, right place, right time. I mean, sometimes people don't even know what the hell. Casting directors don't know what they want, but when they see it, they'll recognize it. So,
there's just so much competition nowadays as well. I mean, just just with Twitch, people just wanting to watch people play video games nowadays. I mean, there's this guy named like Ninja who's like one of the biggest media stars in the world, and he plays like Fortnite. People just playing Minecraft. I mean, how can you compete when there's just such this almost grassroots?
You can't turn this type of medium into a sport. We can't take it personally. If a review says you're great and you accept that, oh, I'm great. Therefore, you must also accept when they say you suck. You have to give them equal balance. So in this game, you're not in it for the money. You're in it just to be as strong as you can and take a person's day away. Make them feel a little bit better about themselves, and also for therapy for the actor.
Now, do you miss like classic media in the sense like I know one thing that I kind of miss personally is like those water cooler moments, those big moments of TV that we all experience at the same time because the new episode aired at 8 p.m. on Friday or Thursday, and then you go into work next day, everybody talk about it. Do you kind of miss those like shared moments?
Most definitely. I mean, I haven't watched. I mean, I don't even know how to turn on the fucking TV. And yeah, I do miss those things. Who shot JR? Those moments. Most definitely. But now you can sit down and watch 15 fucking episodes in one night, as opposed to like you were talking about those water cooler moments where every week you had a new episode. Did you see this? Oh yeah, I screened it there, or what are they called?
It's like everyone's watching things at their own pace and stuff, like, and even one thing I'm really sad about is it just doesn't seem like anything has that staying power anymore. Like Squid Game was huge for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they don't want that. I mean, it's like Mexican novelas. They're always like a year long because you don't want to empower and hector and make them get too much money, and you don't want to invest all these writers' times into a 20-year stretch. Do 3-4 years, step out. So I definitely miss that. Definitely miss the feeling that what we did as actors once a week, if you do television, makes that person, oh, I can't wait till next week. Tune in next week. Now it's like click, you're watching.
It almost like cheapens. It's almost like you can't savor it anymore. It's almost like eating going to McDonald's.
Yes, we're ignorant fuckers. Exactly. We used to have steak. Now television is served like cracker backs. Yeah, very great. Yeah, most
And
definitely.
do like the people working on the shows lose out on things like when like they're working for like an exclusively like streaming show versus like something that is on network television?
Sure. Money wise, I mean, when network television pays the best, now you just hope to do something and get picked up by one of the companies.
It's always seemed like just such like a mystery, like how even like streaming even distributes cash. I mean, back then it's like super like simple, like anybody can like understand, like like you have a TV show, you have a time slot, you sell ads, super easy, but nowadays it just seems like a mystery.
Yeah, and now you're like you don't know what. There's not an algorithm to put it anymore. You're like, okay, I got 15 episodes here, boom, you're gone. And first couple of them, show gets better, commercial time's more. You have the cliffhanger, commercials are more. It's now you don't even see commercials that much. You can fast through the motherfuckers.
But there is some upsides to the streaming, because it does like kind of preserve things a little bit more. I mean, have you seen like like a new generation of either like King of the Hill fans or even like Parks and Rec fan? Like, do you see any like resurgence?
Sure, because people are still watching King of the Hill now. They're still watching Parks and Recreation. It's like 13 years have gone by. I mean, people, oh yeah, I just saw an episode the other day. So streaming gives us the ability to be lazy, but also consume.
Do you know like how networks are? I mean, do you even think network television is going to be a thing in the future?
I don't think so because I mean, ABC, CBS, ABC, they all have their streaming networks now.
Yeah, you got the
Paramount.
Disney Plus, Peacock, yeah, Paramount Plus. I mean,
No, it's too expensive for one, and two. I mean, you have to have cable now just to get a couple of channels.
a little, I don't know, because who really did? I mean, do you even have cable?
I can't even turn the fucking TV on. Hey, we got
How do you
cable.
how do you watch your stuff? You just watching it on your phones or?
I don't watch the fucking thing. I don't really watch much. I mean, I get so jaded that if I'm not in the motherfucker, I ain't gonna watch it. No, I mean, the wife and I will watch something, but as far as I'm watching Highlander, the old series now again. Um, yeah, I mean, I have no idea how to run the TV. I think that mainstream television would just go aside. Before you would wait for those numbers to come in and reward the actors, reward the writers. Now, if you do 15 episodes, they sell it for one nut price, and there you go.
Yeah, that's got to be just really hard on just everybody who is just working on those shows. I mean, you put so much work into it, and you just get one lump sum or however it works. I mean, it's just got to be hard to plan.
Yep. The concept of am I writing this for network television? Am I writing this for HBO? Am I writing this for a cheaper network? So I mean, it's like AAA ball versus minor leagues versus the major leagues. Remember ABC, CBS, and NBC? There was a certain order to it, and then Fox came out, and Fox was like the bastard child. I mean, Fox, you still don't get. Fox is not considered a major network. They don't. CBS, ABC, and CBS, NBC pay more. Like residuals were more because their commercial time so more.
Like you said, I think they're on the way out.
I think so.
I got some kind of tough questions here.
Don't have me, Bubba.
What lesson, whether in like acting or life, kind of took you like the longest to learn?
Nothing is fucking personal. All business. I don't give a fuck. Life is business. Love is business. I get butthurt real easily. Never been married before. So don't take it personally. Love's not even personal anymore. Marriage is like a contract now. But you try to stay focused But just don't take anything in this fucking life personal. Don't take it to your heart, because you're just going to end up breaking it.
Maybe it's just especially like the younger people, those really vocal people on the internet, but it does seem like people are just so in their own world and they don't realize that other people aren't in your head. An offhand comment is just an offhand comment. They don't know you.
Right. I mean, we live in a society where I'm woman, hear me roar. We have a complaint, we want motherfuckers to hear it. And we now live in a day and age where, we get a bad burger, we put on fucking Facebook, and you'll get thousands of people go, oh yeah, I ate their burger too. So we're all our own little Jesus Christ in our own minds now.
For somebody who's looking to break in the industry, do you have any advice for them?
A long shot. Do it because you love it. Don't do it for the money. And even if you're not doing it, there's a way you can do it. Just if it's close to your heart, you'll always do it. Whether it be a high school play or a community theater. But most importantly, acting, speech, storytelling make us better employees, make us better friends, better human beings, because then we know how to have a relationship. On stage and film, when you meet someone, it's a relationship. This is a relationship we have now. So it's important to understand that the relationship of acting is not trying to treat you non-personal. I mean, if you don't get a job, it's not because they don't like you. It's not because you suck. It's just, that's the way it goes.
I think that's a great lesson right there. If a job posting said like you need 6 fingers to get the job and you apply with 5, it's not your fault. You're just not right for that job. I mean, I bet in acting, you could probably get turned down for being too tall, too short. It's probably a ruthless, vain business.
Walker, Texas Ranger, when you walked into the casting room, there was a piece of tape on the back wall. And I remember the first time I saw it, I looked at it. I looked at the lady. She said, oh, she goes, we put that because it was Chuck's height. They didn't want you to be too tall. So we all knew when we walked in, we all kind of sensed.
Is there anything else you want to, say at the end of this? Any other thing?
I want to say that the opportunity to do these podcasts is futuristic. You're telling how the medium has changed, how it's gotten better, gotten worse. But for one, you being able to take on such a responsibility like this and to take this medium, take acting, and really put a philosophy with it, I thank you. This is something that, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been on.
Well, logistically, you couldn't even do it. I mean, here you are, like, I'm here where I'm at. You're here, and you're where you're at. Like, we planned this pretty quickly.
We live in a world. I mean, I live in San Antonio. We live in a world where this helps me be a person. I accepted a friend request on Facebook, and the lady that runs the group says, oh, where are you from? San Antonio. And what do you do for a living? Like, hello. I said, I do film and TV. She went, oh. I mean, it's not a job. It's a hobby. But for me, it's a job and a hobby. But because we're talking about it here, it proves that it's a job. Because only people who have jobs get interviews from a nice person like you.
I see that you're being more like active on like online stuff. Has that been fun for you?
Chuck Ritchie. I've known this gentleman and my wife. I've known this gentleman for a while. And Lori really helped me push the spice business along. Built websites, had some amazing things. And Chuck is always telling me, and now with King of the Hill maybe coming back, and I kind of wanted to put my name back out there. And Chuck, I mean, I've got a Reddit video clip. It's got over 200,000 views. There's no money in it. I told my wife, $2,000. She goes, you get paid for that? I'm like, fuck, wah, wah, wah. But I like it. I mean, we answer questions together. I like that now when I put something on Facebook, it goes around. It's nice to be told that you're funny. It's nice to be told that you've changed people's lives. Because lately I haven't felt with the shit like everyone in this world. So it's nice to know that our existence is helping someone. It's not just killing the planet, but it's helping somebody.
And I've never been on that side. I don't have a fan base. I got 300 subscribers. So I don't know. I'm sure it can be like alienating at times, but is it just humbling, or like how does it feel to have when you post it on Reddit, just people coming out telling you how
responsibility? Because I've posted some real stupid shit before. Now I can't do it. It's responsibility. I mean, we're all like holding a 357, So
yeah, we all have the ability to kill our like anything. Even someone like me. If I say the wrong thing, I'm a nobody. You hear stories all the time of people with like 12 followers saying a stupid joke and boom, canceled. Jobs over. And it's a lot of responsibility just to be visible nowadays.
yes, very, very much so. Very much so. I mean, my wife gets annoyed sometimes because we can't go anywhere without somebody saying something. Photos of her on the internet, it's just kind of a pain in the ass. I kind of make it funny. After we got married, we went to our little favorite little sushi place, and a couple went, "Oh, hey, you're John and Josh." Yes, I am. Said, oh, congratulations on your guys' wedding. I went, so it is a responsibility, but it's also I've never dated a person that hasn't left me for another man or woman. It's like people enjoy knocking John Redcorn down, or they like the process of it. I don't know if they do it intentionally, but it's interesting being an actor. How the public sees you and wants to see you. I mean,
No, it's crazy that I was listening to this interview about like parasocial relationships, which is like those situations where people like have a relationship with people they've never met before, just see them on the internet or whatnot. People gravitate towards those people they hate. They want to see those people that they hate instead of just turning off the stream or the not watching it. They love it. They want to see those people fail. So it's just crazy.
like a car wreck, man.
Yeah.
Car wreck. It's just it's what life has to offer. So why not take it?
Uh-huh. But anyways, it's been great talking with you.
Hi-oh!
And this has been Media Philosophy, exploring the deeper side of entertainment.